you guys a question. How many of you guys, when you were really young, say like 13, 14, you were coming up and what is going on? Is this the rapture or something? Is this the rapture? Okay, wow, okay. Okay, so let's get back to the question. Okay, how many of you guys are in middle school, 13, 14 years old, you guys are coming up, and you literally want to go to your room, pack up everything in your room, and just run away, just bolt for Mexico, because when you come home, there's like literally like a million rules for you guys to follow. Anybody here? I know I felt like that. I was just like, I'm ready to bolt. I'm ready to, I have some Hispanic friends. I go to Mexico. I'll get out of here. I know I felt like that. I remember I'd be like, Mom, can I go watch this movie? Like everybody's gonna go see the movie, and she'd be like, no, it has this certain actor in it, or has cussing in it. Man, oh my gosh, can you just like pull the whole plug? I'd rather have no life. There we go. Oh my gosh, I'd rather have no life. Praise God, I'm praying for answers.
Maybe.
Like, oh my God. Somebody's trying to this must be a serious. Somebody needs to hear this because the devil's trying to stop it right now. Nobody's like doing anything in the back either. They're just standing there. It's like, let's get my drink suffer. Hey, save the day, Brittany. Just turn them off. Woo! Yes, let's see everybody. Yes. This is what happened on the very first time. Okay, so let's get back to that. Just a whole bunch of rules being set. Like I said, I want to go watch a movie, and my mom would be like, no, it has this actor in it, or it has like some bad words, so she set the restriction, I couldn't do it. Or I would want to go to my buddy John's house. My mom would be like, no, you can't go to his house, he's going to be in like prison by the time he's like 8 years old, or something like that. Like, oh my gosh, Mom, like stop setting all these restrictions on me. And I look back, and I saw that we were supposed to take that and apply that to our early adulthood. And I don't know about you guys, but I definitely did not. I didn't set any. I pretty much had no boundaries when I was a young adult, and that landed me in jail. And when I was in jail, I was like, I used to be a good kid. Like, what happened to me? What happened? Like, I look back, like I was sobering up and everything. What happened? What happened to me? And God revealed to me that my parents were trying to protect me, set these restrictions because of the influence it would have for me. They were trying to protect me from bad influences. And I saw that these bad influences over time, they changed the way that I thought, they changed the way that I spoke, they changed the way that I carried myself, and they changed the way I talked. And eventually, over time, these bad influences, they changed my character. And they changed the way I lived my life. And that's why I ended up in jail, because I let them influence me. And just as our earthly Father, they want us to set boundaries for our own good. The same thing applies to our Heavenly Father. He wants us to set boundaries for our own good. So the things of the world won't shape and form us, but the things of God will mold us and shape us. Instead of these bad influences that will change our character, and so we'll have worldly character. But instead of that, we'll be influenced by God. We'll have godly character. And that's why God wants us to set boundaries, and this is why He calls us to be holy. And in 1 Peter 1:14 through 16, those who are taking notes, this is like the main verse for this sermon. It says, as obedient children, do not conform any longer, or do not conform to your evil desires. Do not conform to these influences of the world. But as He who called you is holy, be holy in all you do. Not just one thing. We're not supposed to be holy in just one thing over here. We're supposed to be holy in everything we do. Everything. And we need to grasp that. And God calls us, and He commands you to be holy. And this is very important. And for those of you who are not very familiar what holy means, holy is to be pure. Holy is to be set apart from the world. And another definition would be different from the world, but not just different from the world in general. Different from the world because we're like God. That's what it is to be holy. And for those who are taking notes, one of the first things I want to talk to you guys about. It's really simple. My first 2 points are really simple and just applicable to our life. Just simple things we need to apply to live a holy life. And simply, we should only have godly influences. We only should have godly influences in our life. We need to make sure we're not influenced by the things of this world. When we leave this church, when you go out there, you need to make sure you're not influenced by the things of this world. And I know, I speak from experience, I've seen the power of the holy environment. Like I said, I was in jail, and God had mercy on me. I was looking at prison time, God had mercy, and He sentenced me to a discipleship program. And I'll tell you what, that program, it was set apart. It was holy. We did not have cell phones. We didn't have girls trying to influence us. They're all right sometimes. We didn't have them distract us. We didn't have girls. We didn't have television, TV shows, movies, computers. We didn't have those things. But instead of that, instead of those bad influences, we had the Word of God. We had the Holy Spirit. We had people praying for us. We had mentors speaking into our life. And I remember, just like I was in jail, and I was like, what happened? Why did I turn out like this? Just as I felt like that, it flipped. And I was like, why do I want to pray all the time? Why do I want to do right all the time? And it was because of the influence flip. I wasn't being influenced by the things of this world, but I was being influenced by the kingdom of God. I was being influenced by His Word. Every morning we'd get up and we'd be in His Word, we'd soak it up. We'd be influenced by His Holy Spirit. And just the influences would switch. And I was like, wow, you're set apart. And there is power in you. And I don't think, I would probably be saved, but if it wasn't for that holy environment, I probably would not be up here speaking to you. I would not be where I am spiritually if it wasn't for me being set apart from those influences. And it is important. There's power in it. And 2 Timothy 2:21 says, those who cleanse themselves, those who stay holy from the latter, will be instruments for special purposes, made holy, useful to the master, and prepared to do any good work. If we are set apart, we can be used for special purposes. I believe the more set apart we are, the more powerful we are for God's kingdom. There is power in holiness. And you guys are all familiar, of course, with gold. And just as if gold is pure, the more pure gold is, guess what? The more valuable it is. And the same thing applies to the kingdom of God. If we, as Christians, if we're more pure, we're more valuable to the kingdom of God. We're more valuable to God. We might not lose salvation if we're not holy. God still loves us, but the more holy we are, the more valuable we are. The more pure we are, the more valuable we are to the kingdom of God. And God can use us more, the more holy we are. There is power in it. This brings me to my second thing I want to tell you guys, for those who are taking notes. Just another simple thing to apply to our lives. We need to be aware of what influences us. Be aware. We need to make sure, because the devil's going to try to influence us in ways. He doesn't want you to think you can be influenced by. I'll tell you that right. He doesn't want to think that you can be influenced. He wants you to think nothing, oh, I'm 18 now, I can just watch whatever thing, I can anything in my eyes I want, I can hear whatever I want, I can go wherever I want, nothing can influence me. That's a lie from the pit of hell. That's a lie. We need to be aware of what influences us. And in 1 Corinthians 15:33 it says, bad company corrupts good character. Many of you guys know that. But right before that it says, do not be deceived. We need to make sure we are not deceived in this area. It also says in Luke 11:34, your eye is the lamp that provides light for your body. When your eye is good, your whole body is filled with light. But when it is bad, your body is filled with darkness. Jesus is speaking to us here. He's telling you, be careful. You can let darkness in your eyes. And it can affect your spirit and affect your heart. He's warning us here. We need to Do not be deceived. Bad company corrupts good character. Who you hang out with corrupts good character. Do not be deceived. What you let in your eyes can corrupt your character. It can shape you and mold you. What you let in your ears, do not be deceived. It can affect you. And it can corrupt your character. Do not be deceived. We need to see this clearly, and we need to be aware of what influences us. The third thing I want to talk to you guys about is God is commanding you to live a holy life. He's commanding me to live a holy life. He's commanding Taylor to live a holy life. He's commanding my sister Roxanne to live a holy life. He's commanding each and every one of us to live a holy life. And it's not like he's, hey, can you live a holy life for me? Can you be set apart for me? No, live a holy life. Be holy because I'm holy. That's what he's commanding us. It's not just relax, live a holy life. Some of you guys may know I have a motorcycle. And yeah, give it up for it, yeah. Or maybe that wasn't it. I thought Aiden was going to be here. I'd be like, yeah, meet Aiden, riders, yeah. Okay, so anyway, I just got this bike like 8 months ago. And it's a pretty big bike. It's my first bike. It's a 1100 for those who know what that is. But anyway, it's a big bike. It's about 500 pounds. And me and my dad bought this bike. And my dad's turn to me, he said, "This is a lot of bike, son. Be careful on this bike, or you will lay it down. It's a lot of bike." So he's like, "Garrett, you're not very comfortable on a bike, but just give it about a month, and then you can go faster, you can get a little more comfortable in it. But just give it a month to relax." So okay, the first day goes by, and I'm like, okay, 50 miles an hour tops. I mean, I'm doing good. Second day comes by, I'm like, I want to unleash this beast, dude. Like right now, it's still 100 on I-75. So anyway, I'm just coming down Fruitville. I'm going like 80 miles an hour maybe. I'm telling you. Okay, here's 70. And my bike is pretty loud. I have the baffles out, so it's like irregularly loud. So I'm like, the louder the better, like, yeah, like the louder, make it even louder than it is. Thank you. Okay, so anyway, I'm on Fruitville, and I'm just past Honore, I'm going towards I-75, and I'm turning into Chick-fil-A. Of course, Chick-fil-A. Okay, so you guys know where that is, and everybody's pulling out of there, and I'm downshift, I'm like, oh, I gotta downshift real quick. So I downshift, I'm like, this is not enough. Like, I need something else that when we stop, or I'm gonna hit all these cars that are pulling out. So my bright idea is to turn and hit the front brakes. And for those of you guys, yeah, not a good idea. So anyway, I do that, and literally, like, there's no like in between, like, oh, I'm falling. No, it's boom, I'm on the ground, boom, just like that. Like, there's no in between. I was just on the ground, like this bike on top of me. And so anyway, right when I hit the ground, I'm like, I'm gonna hear a big "I told you so" from my dad. And my dad loves to rub "I told you so's" in my face. Like, I heard it for like, I'm still hearing about it to this day. So anyway, I stuck to myself, like, I completely ignored my dad. I ignored my dad's command. And his command was not in vain. He didn't just say it just to say it. He told me this command for my own good. And God commands us to be holy for our own good. The same thing applies there. And he commands us to be holy. And we have to take this seriously. We have to take living a holy life seriously. And many people don't. Many Christians don't. They don't really walk out and fight for it. They don't strive for holiness. And we need to have, when we look at something, we need a filter. Whatever comes in our eyes, we need a filter. Whatever comes in our ears, we need to filter these things. We have to guard our eyes and ears. And if I could have the band come up with the prayer team, please. I'm just going to share one last thing with you guys. Just for you guys to ponder on. Okay, so how many of you guys you want to impact the kingdom? You want to influence the unbelievers? Anybody out there? You want to impact the world? You want to impact the kingdom for God? Okay, awesome. Okay, so if you are influenced by the things of this world, if you bring in, or if you let influences from the world influence you, how can you influence the world? It's impossible. If you are getting influence from the world, you can't influence the world in a godly way. It's literally impossible. And we need to grasp that. I'm just going to run through my points real quick. We need godly influences in our life. Only godly influences in our life. Number two, we need to beware of what influences us. Be aware. Be conscious. And do not be deceived. But be aware. And third, just simply, God is commanding you, He's commanding me to live a holy life. To be set apart from the things of this world so we can influence this world for the kingdom of God. And I'm just going to give you guys an opportunity to respond to this message. Just going to have, you can all stand up. If there's any new Christians, or if there's people who are new here, and they just want to receive Christ, they want to give themselves, give their heart, give their life to Christ, He will be happy to pray for you, to intercede, lift you up, give you accountability in your life. And just for those, please come up and have prayer. If you want to live a holy life, if you want to be set apart for God, if you want to influence this world, please come up for prayer. We're just gonna have prayer and worship after I pray. Lord God, I just thank you for this night. I thank you for each and every person here. Lord God, I ask that you help the Holy Spirit to convict, Lord, convict me of areas I'm holding back, Lord God.